What's up, guys? I'm Evan.
And I'm Brock. Welcome to Cardboard Conversations, powered by Ludex, the show where we use cardboard to create conversation.
From number 11 to number 44 to number 54, and finally enshrined forever at number 318, one of the greatest linebackers to walk planet Earth and ping pong extraordinaire, Brian Urlacher.
I like the ping pong jab. That's good. Yes, yes.
We thought you would like that. Thanks for coming out,
Yeah,
Brian.
man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Now, before we get into the cards, I got to ask one question. What's more honorable, being the first ever guest on Cardboard Conversations or being in the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
That's a toss-up for me. You know, it's being on your show is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but number 318 is a little bit cooler.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
well, let's go on the show here. Maybe by
Yeah.
the end, I'm like, you know what, that was pretty fun. I like it better than the Hall of Fame.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
accept that answer.
for
We'll
sure.
continue the interview.
Yeah.
So the first card we got is a rookie retro insert from Fleer in 2000. Talk to me about this card a little bit. So, do you remember why you're wearing Mike Singletary's jersey?
Yeah, we did this rookie photo shoot. There's probably 30 of us rookies there. I don't know how they choose us. And they just said, we're going to do some throwback pictures. And this one's actually good compared to some of the other ones that they took. There's some ones where I'm like looking down and holding my tricep. I was like, and then the thing is weird is I'm not wearing gloves. We didn't have any, we were in full jerseys and gear that day, but wore no gloves or no tape. And I'm like, so I see the pictures. I'm like, why am I not wearing tape in those? And I can immediately tell that that's from the rookie photo shoot when I see the cards.
I know, it's awesome.
But people like these because they're like the Singletaries.
Yeah,
like that.
so that's what I was going to say. Did you feel any pressure putting on a Hall of Fame jersey for your rookie photo shoot?
So to be honest, I didn't know much about the Bears when I was drafted.
Right.
So no, I didn't feel any pressure. I just, I knew that the Bears had retired Mike's number. I knew that Mike Singletary and Dick Butkus both were retired, but I didn't, it was a photo shoot.
Right.
I wasn't too worried about it. It was 110 degrees in Orlando that day. I know that much.
So they bring out all the rookies and you just do it all at once. It's not like you go Fleer doesn't come to like a Bears practice and they're like, hey, we're here.
No, back when I came out, we'd all fly into Orlando together and we did a one-day photo shoot. So I think it was like 4 or 5 hours and that was it.
Cool.
Pretty simple.
In hindsight, do you think putting on Singletary's jersey gave you special powers?
Sure. I mean, it couldn't hurt. That worked out okay for me. It was funny. I think I saw someone wearing his jersey in a game a couple of years ago. They unretired his jersey.
Oh yeah, that was.
I saw 50. I was like, what is going on? I was watching the. I was like, why is Singletary back? I think it was James Anderson, a linebacker a couple years ago.
Good call.
Yeah, I was surprised though.
Now, when they're asking you to pose, do they want you to look mean, or did you think you looked mean?
All he said was, don't smile and make your game face. And I'm like, I don't really have a game face. I'm pretty excited on Sundays, so I don't really know what a game face would be. But I was just trying to look tough, and I don't know, man. I'm not good at taking pictures. I don't like posing and stuff. It's not my thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there's one question I want to ask. This has nothing to do with the card. It's about, we talked about being menacing. We talked about looking tough. When I was younger, I told my mom, Brian Urlacher, Dick Butkus never brush their teeth on game day, so I don't brush my teeth on game day when I used to play. It made us disgusting. It made us mean. Please tell me there's truth to that statement.
There's definitely no truth to that statement.
Oh!
No.
This guy's got cavities for no reason.
I wake up immediately and go right to the bathroom and brush my teeth. That's like my routine. I don't know where you heard don't brush your teeth on.
Even before you played the Packers?
Before I played everybody. Yeah, that was so basically every day of my life, no matter who we played or what I was doing, I brushed my teeth.
That's good.
Yes.
I mean, maybe we can call Dick Butkus and he can give me some kind of feedback on that question.
Dick's 80 and he has all of his teeth, so I'm assuming he brushed his too.
All right. Well, Mom, you were right.
Yeah, all the cavities.
Make him brush your teeth. Make your kids brush your teeth.
Brian, go ahead and grab the next one.
Oh, yeah.
This is
I see the back of this one. This one's excited.
A familiar, friendly face. So
Darren Woodson, my favorite player.
Dude, he's a legend and doesn't get the respect he gets. So this card actually was from the same set as your rookie year, which is a little coincidental.
Wow.
You've been very vocal about how deserving Darren Woodson is of the Hall of Fame, really what he meant to the game, and how special a player he was. Talk to us a little bit about what impressed you about him and what you really liked about him.
So I grew up a Cowboys fan. In New Mexico, I was a huge Cowboys fan. He was my favorite. There was Jay Novacek, Bill Bates, Ken Norton. I can name 20 guys right now from those teams. But they won Super Bowls. It's always fun to watch them because they always won. Looking at his numbers now I know why he's not in the Hall of Fame. If these are correct, 7 picks, no, 69 teams, sorry. But, I just feel like when you're on teams like that, you're probably not going to make that many big plays. You have some of your players on your team. But he was a stud. He did things the right way. I got a chance to meet him a few times. I just liked the way he played football. And so I thought I was a big safety in high school. I was 6'4", 190. Right. Darren was like 6'2", 220. So I thought I was comparative to him because I was bigger.
So like, what was it like meeting him? Like, what is that moment like?
It was just cool. First of all, I didn't know he went to Arizona State. I knew nothing about him besides he played for the Cowboys and I liked him.
Right.
So, but it was cool. It's always cool to meet guys that you looked up to. And that happened to me earlier in my career. Probably every week that we played because I'd meet. We play a new team. My first couple seasons, we played new teams. Like, oh man, that's Derek Brooks over there. Or, oh man, there's one. So my first Pro Bowl my rookie year, I meet all these guys. I'm like, damn, last year I was watching these guys play. I was a fan. Yeah. And now I'm on their team for the Pro Bowl. So it was really cool early on. I never really got starstruck, but it's always like, well, there's Brett Favre over there. It's cool. My first season, first game we played against my sack Brett Favre. I was pretty happy about that.
Oh, dude, we remember that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, ending up on top of Brett Favre has got to be like, oh my God. Sorry, Brett.
Sacking, not ending up on top of it, like tackling him. Yeah. Sacking Brett Favre was pretty cool, especially being a fan. If you like football, you're a Brett Favre fan.
Oh my
I don't care, especially as a kid when they played the Cowboys all the time. I just like the way he played.
Dude, absolute stud.
Yep.
So you talked, Darren Woodson was the guy. The defense ran through it. You kind of alluded to that just now. You became that guy for the Bears. You did it very successfully for a very long time. Not easy to do. What's it like being that guy? Having guys rely on you, and also, like, is there a moment where you're like, oh my God, I am the guy? What is that like?
Yeah, it's kind of stressful. When my first couple of years, it was kind of all because when you call the huddle, there's 10 eyes on you, or 10 sets of eyes looking at you. What's the call? What's the call? When the huddle breaks, you got 4 more asking you, what was the call?
Yeah.
It's so stressful because no one listens to you in the huddle. But to be the guy that the coaches trust to be that guy, and then your teammates kind of go to you when something's going wrong. They're looking at you like, well, hey, what are we doing? What's going on? What's the call? So at first it was stressful, but then I kind of embraced it. I liked it. I like being that guy that the coaches would go to for like, hey, what should we be doing out there on the sideline? What do you think's going on? Just the guy that most people turn to on defense and like get things fixed or go to and maybe have to do some yelling if I have to.
I'm glad you said that because a bunch of your teammates are quoted saying about when the huddle would break, Brian was always the guy we'd go to help understand what we need to do. So when the huddle would break, how many guys would be coming up to you?
Dude, it's so frustrating because you're in a huddle, you're like, all right, cover 2, ready? That was literally the call. Cover two, ready? Yeah. You break. We get to the line of scrimmage. What was the call? Hey, black, what? I'm like, where's cover 2? I just told you. Yeah. So it's just amazing how much guys don't pay attention they didn't pay attention to me. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing between snaps where you can't get the call from me? The corners I get, because sometimes they come all the way in, I just give them a little signal. But a D lineman, and these guys' hand in the ground turns around and goes, oh, what was the call? You're lined up. So it was stressful, but it was fun because now it's great to talk about right now.
Right.
At the time, I was like, how do you not know the call? I used to get so frustrated talking to these guys. Lance was bad too. Lance stressed me out because Lance would have the A gap. The A gap's in here. Lance would be out here in the D gap. I'm lined up like, what are you doing out there, dude? Your gap's here. He always ended up in the right gap, but he always moving around, screwing with the offense, making me nervous.
He's an absolute stud. So Lovey said the same thing. Lovey always talked about you being a film room guy, knowing where everyone needed to be on offense and defense. Lovey is near to our heart. He doesn't get enough love in Chicago. Same. Absolute stud. Unbelievable. You guys had tons of success together.
Yep.
Talk to us a little about Lovey. What did he mean for you? What was it like getting coached by him?
So when he came in, we were good before. Coach Sharon did a great job with us, but we were kind of tapering off there at the end. So that defense that we started out with Coach Sharon and Greg Boschman, one of my favorite D coordinators too. Yep. We had to have some big guys up front. We had Ted Washington, we had Keith Traylor, and Brian Robinson, Philip Dan. We had some big boys up front. In Lovey's defense, you didn't need that. You needed guys that could get up the field. You needed a 3 technique, Tommy Harris. We had some guys that could get up there and just get in creases and create havoc. So it was more of a pressure defense, but not blitzing, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. We get pressure from our front 4, but we didn't blitz a lot. And it kind of allowed me just to be an athlete, which, middle linebacker, we played cover 2, which was boring, but we were so good at it. And the thing for me is normally in cover 2, the middle linebacker, when the ball snapped, if it's a pass, turns and runs. Right. And we did that probably for half of my first season, and then Lovey was like, we're not doing that anymore. You're just running yourself out every play. So we would change it where I could read the offense and kind of adjust off of them. Lance was smart enough to do it. I was decently smart, and Hunter was smart enough to do it. So we could read what they're doing and not have to waste the middle linebacker every play. But he's awesome. The thing he preached, get the football. If you notice our defenses, we got a lot of takeaways. When he got there, we scored touchdowns, picks, and helping you have Charles out there causing
He's an absolute boxer on the field.
But we always got takeaways. Special teams were phenomenal. Even before Devin got there in 06, we had a couple of good years. Jerry Zuma made the Pro Bowl, I think, in 05, returning kicks. So we were just good in all facets of the game. And the thing I love about Lovey is he ran the football on offense. He wanted something that's going to run. We may not have got it, a ton of points, but we ran the football, protected our defense, and played good defense.
Yeah, control the ball, exactly.
Yeah, loved it.
So final, just on the coaching standpoint, and you're a competitor, so you probably didn't even need someone to rile you up, but I was always curious. before games, was there any player or person who would get you fired up or like get you going, or were you already had that fire burning?
So here's my thing. I think if you need someone to fire you up to play a game, something's wrong. I mean, if you're not jacked up on Sunday, you work all week long, you bust your butt all week long to get healthy, to get ready to play, and on Sunday, you better be ready to play. If someone needs to get you ready to play, you're doing the wrong thing. That's the way I looked at it. So I wasn't a rah-rah guy. You know, I woke up Sundays early, ready to go, like excited, and you gotta wait 5 hours for the game to start. But you know, you always woke up ready to go, excited. But once we got to the stadium, man, it was people knew what was going on. You didn't need to get sometimes you get new players because you get new players every year, and they think they need to be the rah-rah guy. I'm like, dude, just shut up. We're gonna be fine. We don't need you hyping everyone up. We know what to do. So, yeah.
Go ahead, bud.
All right, so we talked about your rookie card. Talked about Darren Woodson. Let's talk about a teammate.
Yeah. Oh, can I pick it up?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, this is
That
one
one's
of my
all yours.
favorite teammates right here. Oh no, sorry, Darren.
okay.
Let me get you back up there, buddy. Oh my gosh, look how young he looks.
Yeah. So I love this card.
Pro Bowl card.
Because this is a dirty jersey Pro Bowl card. Is that like the most Olin Kreutz thing ever? Like who gets their jersey dirty in a Pro Bowl?
Oh, well, it rains every 2 hours over in Hawaii, and I think we used to play on grass at the beginning. The first couple of Pro Bowls we went to, we played on grass and then it went to turf. But Olin's one of my favorite teammates of all. Oh, this was even numbered 845 or 999. That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's very
Because of the
good.
jersey.
Yes.
He's one of my favorite teammates. You talk about a guy who set the tone.
Oh yeah.
This is the guy right here. He like when things were going bad for me, I was like, oh, what do we do? That's the guy I went to. If you really didn't need to ask him because he would set the tone with either his play, the way he practiced, his verbiage sometimes.
Yeah.
You just knew that Olin was always going to be there for you. But one of my favorite teammates, and this is a sweet card.
Yeah, we might have to. You might have to take that home with you if you want.
You might, if it disappears, don't worry about
Okay.
it. So the funny thing, at one of the photo shoots I did, I literally put on 50 jerseys and took them off. On and off, on and off,
Yeah.
on and off. I'm like, why am I doing this? I go, well, we're going to say they're worn by Brian Urlacher.
Of course.
Not game worn, but just worn. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So you literally put them on, take it off. Put it on, take it off.
Yeah, that's why this card's
And
cool
then
because
they
it's a
put
dirty
him-
jersey.
Yeah, dirty. This is the actual one he wore in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
What year is this?
That is.
2002.
Yeah.
So started going to Pro Bowls the same year. This is probably his second Pro Bowl, but man, he was great.
Yeah. Speaking of, just what was his opinion on sleeves? He never wore sleeves ever. You never wore
Never
sleeves
wore 'em.
ever.
Oh.
It was negative 20 degrees out in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was in the stands, bundled up with my dad. These guys never had sleeves. Did you guys acknowledge that? Like, did you talk about that,
So
or is it just being, just
On
being
defense, we
badass?
talked about it. I just didn't see a reason for it because once you start sweating and then it gets cold, you're gonna be like, oh man, my arms are sweating. Now my arms are gonna be frozen because they're wet. So I just never saw. We put Vaseline on our arms because it made them shiny and it made them. The moisture helps keep the. I mean, it's that cold. Whatever you can do to keep them off. We wore the turtlenecks underneath to keep our midsection warm, but yeah, it never crossed my mind to wear sleeves, honestly. Now in practice. I wore all, I had a hoodie on, I had 3 layers on, but then the games, I never thought about it. And our defense, no one on defense wore sleeves until later in my career. We had some D linemen wearing some thin ass, tiny. I'm like,
Yeah.
what's that gonna do for you? Maybe it's a mind thing, but we just never wore them. Didn't think we needed them.
I know. You guys are awesome. I love that. We have another.
Put this guy back.
We have another teammate card here for you.
All right.
So I got a teammate card and one of your cards as well. You could take them both.
All right.
I did this because this is Wizards of the Coast. So Wizards of the Coast was the ones who created Pokemon. So in the early 2000s,
Son loves Pokemon.
Yeah.
Or he did. He did. Sorry.
it's okay. I love Pokemon now. I'm a grown man.
He did.
Okay. But in the early 2000s, Wizards of the Coast made football cards, and they gave players attributes so you could play with them as a kid. And we brought these up because we got Big, Keith Traylor, and Brian Urlacher. So Keith Traylor is a 9-speed. Brian Urlacher is a 15-speed.
I was looking at our ratings. I'm not sure I like this so much.
Were you
11 run stop.
Were you
Come on,
not
man.
2 times faster than Keith Traylor?
Oh yeah, I'm really fast compared. Well, you saw Truck on the tractor. We call him Truck.
Tractor,
You
yeah.
saw him. Was it the fumble versus Jacksonville? Was it
Interception, one-handed interception.
Yeah, he was moving on that
Yeah,
sideline.
he
We had
was.
about 4 guys past him that were other D linemen from our team, but.
People were going in and out of
Yeah.
the frame.
I like that they rank you on these. I mean, I don't like it as a player because I think I should be higher.
Right,
But
of
I like
course.
it for the fans. It's pretty cool. But,
Yeah, it's fun.
Run stop 16 for him, 11 for me. Not so good.
Yeah,
Power 15 for me, 14 for Truck. I like that.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Speed 15. I'm better pass rusher too. 15 or
Yeah.
16 to 10. That doesn't make sense.
I think you should be at least an 18 speed. You're
What's the most they do? 20?
I don't know. We'll have to find.
Yeah, we got to find out the max
Yeah.
ratings here.
Yeah,
but
we'll find maybe like Mike Vick's card and see how fast he was.
I'll tell you how fast he
100.
was. Fast. That's how fast he was.
You brought up the interception against Jacksonville.
Yep.
Dude, he was looking lateral to you. He was looking for 54.
It wasn't me.
He was looking for 54.
54 was probably jogging like, go train him. I saw remember Zoom running by him a little bit. I'm not sure if he was trying to pitch it to Zoom. He didn't score, or did he
No,
score?
he
He didn't score.
He was
Okay.
Just got there though.
He was like, damn, get rid of this ball. You know, the big boys, they get tired. Plus, if you score on defense, guess what you get to do? Go back to the next series and play more defense.
Yeah.
So you're going to be
good
tired.
point.
If you're running a long way, you're like, wait a minute, maybe I should fall down here. But the offense give a chance to score. But yeah, it's tiring. Anytime you touch the ball as a defensive player, it's instant tiredness. I don't care if you recover a fumble and don't run, you're like, oh man, I'm so tired. No matter what you do, you get tired. These are cool. I like the colors and stuff in them.
Yeah, yours is a holographic first edition.
So this is my rookie year. You know, I can tell I'm wearing a mouthpiece. That's the only year I wore a mouthpiece.
That's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What made you feel like you shouldn't wear a mouthpiece?
I couldn't
anymore?
talk.
Yeah, or breathe, right?
I don't remember out the breathing part. I always breathe pretty well. It's the you not being able to communicate. You know, as a middle linebacker, you got to be able to communicate. In my
Right.
rookie year, I was always be putting it in and out, and there's no penalty for not wearing it. So my second year, I was like, I'm gonna try not wearing a mouthpiece in training camp, and I got used to it and never wore one again. And I bit through my lip two times. I bit my tongue a lot, but nothing bad. You know, I got stitches in my lip one time, but that was the worst I ever did, and I never got concussed because of not wearing a mouthpiece. So that's good.
Awesome. Brian, grab the next one for you. This is
Okay.
our opponent card here. I know everyone's probably thinking
This
Aaron
guy.
Rodgers, Brett Favre, but
Yeah.
think shorter, meaner. You might hear him talking through the card. There's a turkey variation. It's a pretty cool card.
It is a cool card.
Of the infamous Steve Smith.
This guy. He was so I played against Steve in college as well.
Oh, really?
My senior year, he returned 2 punts for touchdown in the same game against us. Should have had a third. I accidentally tackled him on the 5-yard line. But you talk about a competitor and a feisty dude. Like Steve's only 5'10", 180 or so. But what was it, divisional playoffs in 05? He had 200 and something yards receiving against us. We just didn't play well. I mean, he played good, obviously. But, you know, he only had like 7 or 8 catches. He had 2 long touchdowns. And we played cover 3. Charles was out that game, by the way. Tillman was out.
That's
So
an important
I
detail.
will say that Charles was out. One of our corners was out. It may have been Charles. I'm pretty sure it was. But yeah, man, this dude, this makes me sad looking at this card.
You can flip it
he
over.
dominated us, man, in that game. And we were 11-5 or 13-3 that year, and we were number 1 defense in the NFL. They had a good defense. We beat them earlier in the season, pretty handily, by the way, at Soldier Field, and they came back and just drummed us in that playoff game.
So Steve was loud. You had a guy on your team who was a talker as well, Mike Brown.
Mike B, yeah.
So, I mean, absolute savage,
Oh.
unbelievable. Another guy who doesn't get the recognition he deserves. When you go back to that game, you close your eyes. Whose voice do you hear? Who's talking more?
When I'm playing on defense, I always hear Mike Brown. Hey, what's like? Because when he in normal life, his voice is like ours, and when he starts talking on defense, like hey, he gets really high pitched. I'm like, I know, Mike, I know. So in my Hall of Fame speech, I mentioned that I was like, man, I could always hear this one voice on mine. Hey, Mike. Just they gotta run this, they gotta run that. Just that high pitched voice. I always knew exactly who it was, and that dude is the smartest player I've ever played with, bar none. He never made mistakes. Our rookie year, he was starting from day one. I wasn't. He started from day one until the end of his career because he knew, number one, he was gifted physically, but he always knew where to be. He just didn't make mistakes mentally. And as a rookie, the game moves fast. The hardest part of the game early on is how fast the game moves mentally. Physically, we're all good athletes, whatever, but mentally, how fast you can adjust relates to how fast you can play.
All right.
The quicker you can make adjustments, the faster you're going to play. If you're not thinking, you're going to play really fast because you're just reacting.
And is that just about understanding plays? Is it experience? What do you think? Like, what's bogging you down in terms of reacting?
So I think not knowing what you're doing slows you down. Because if you don't know what gap you have, or if you're thinking about what's my alignment, or that's what another thing I loved about when Lovey got there. There was no questions, and Coach Babbage helped with this as well. Every play, you knew exactly what you're supposed to do, no doubt. When the formation's set, all right, I got the B gap, I'm in a hip alignment, run through the A gap. If it's a run there. If it's not, I got cover 2. Simple. Yeah. Every play was so simple. We go into defense in the games with 5 defensive calls. 5 calls. That's it. We'd have a cover 2, cover 3, a man blitz, a zone blitz, and then our third down stuff. And that was it. That's so simple. When you can play fast and just not have to think about what you're doing and just react, it helps a ton. And I figured that out pretty quick when they got there. Yeah, it helps.
Right. So speaking of plays, and I don't know if you could speak to this, but what does Pirate Cover 3 mean?
It's over Pirate cover 2. We don't have a 3. We don't run Pirates with cover 3 because 3 is an 8-man front, so you don't need an extra guy. So cover 2 is pretty soft versus the run. Okay. So to make up for that, we run a stunt with the D-line. We'd stunt the 3 technique would cross the face of the center or the whatever gap, and the D-line would run a pinch or a long stick. And then if they ran that side, Lance would go chase the end, and he would spill, and I would come over the top. So we try to take up gaps, take away one of the gaps that they have in cover 2 because there's only 7 guys to stop the run, and they have 7 guys that can block us, so they have a hat for a hat. Cover 3, you have an extra guy with a safety. You don't need to run the stunt to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
So if you're a guy short, you run stunts to make up for those, and as long as you run them right, you're good. If you get creased in one of those gaps, not good. That happened a few times too. But if you don't have a guy, like say a guy gets cut off on the long stick, there's a huge ass gap right there where they can run through. So, and it's not as good versus the pass either because you're running a run stunt versus a pass. So, but just trying to find ways to make up for those gaps that were short for the guys in the box. Because awesome. Cover 2 is such a good defense though. We mostly run cover 2. That's a first down call. Over Pirate 2 is a first down call. Because the second and long you go over 2, over 29, whatever. You wouldn't run a stunt because they're probably not going to run it. But I will say this. So in the NFL, this is a crazy stat. If there's an incomplete pass on 1st and 10, the percentage for run on 2nd down is like 80%.
Oh wow!
So then you get to 3rd and 7.
Right.
They're either going to trick you by running on 2nd down, and then you got 3rd and 8 or 9. But yeah, the more I watch football, which I don't watch a lot these days, but when I do, I'm like, all right, 2nd and 10 should be a run. Right. It's a run. It's amazing.
3rd and 7.
Can't get that stat out of my head.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brian, one more opponent card for you here.
I already saw this one.
I know. We talked about this.
Dude, the monster.
So, this is Brandon Jacobs. It's an awesome card. It's a Topps Chrome Refractor, which is one of my favorite just kind of cards, and we're actually going to open some of that
colors.
in a little. Just honestly, plain and simple, what the hell was it like tackling Brandon Jacobs?
It says he's 264. He's bigger than that. Dude, so preseason game, I want to say 07 or 08, you want to get out of those games healthy.
Yes.
Yeah, number one. But this dude catches a swing pass, and I was like, oh, man. So I'm running out there. I never went low on anybody. So like, all right, I'm going to hit him. I'm going to see what happens. I ended up on my back real quick. I hit him. My back of my head hit the ground. He went out of bounds, but man, he's just a big dude. I played him a couple times in the regular season and had more success during the regular season, but he ran me over. I got run over a lot, by the way, not just by him. But when you play this game long enough, it's going to happen to you.
You hurt a lot of people.
But I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to tackle him.
Excuse me.
So this dude knocked me down. My back of my head hit the ground first, I think, and then my shoulders and my butt. But he's a beast. But I should have went low. But I don't think I can tackle somebody though. I'd probably get hurt. I never practiced it. Yeah. My son is a safety. He's like, hey, when do you go low? I was like, never. Why would you go low? I said, you're 185 pounds. Why would you hit somebody in the knees? He goes, well, sometimes the backs are 230. I said, so what? Get ran over. Probably not great advice. But and Brandon I think he won 2 Super Bowls, didn't he? Or at least one with the Giants.
I think he won 2, yeah.
Yeah, lucky guys.
All right, so is there anyone else in terms of physically imposing, like who you would not want to avoid on the field or not want to hit?
Some of those linemen. I played against Larry Allen. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, which he should be. Plus, he played for the Cowboys when I was growing up. He's got the biggest head, I think, of anyone I've ever seen, and his hands are so big. But most of the linemen are pretty imposing. Once they get a hold of you, you're not getting off their block. Not so much because you don't run into them a whole lot full speed unless there's a screen or something where they're outside blocking. But for the most part, you run up into them in the line of scrimmage and you're stuck. You're like, hey man, come on, let me go. You get stuck. And my coach was like, get off the block. I'm like, dude, I'm trying to get his hands off me. But they're so strong and they're all so big. And the left tackles are 6'7", 330.
Right.
They're huge, and the right tackle's not too, but they're so big. You got there, like, how am I getting around this guy? And you're looking up, and then you got Peppers over here at 6'6", 290. And Pep has no problem getting around him, but they're just big human beings, and they're all athletic.
It's insane. All right, I got a situation for you. Gassers on the line, end of practice. You got one. Your success depends on the boys going home.
Okay.
Right? You got to do an Oklahoma drill with Brandon Jacobs or a DB drill with Steve Smith. What are you picking?
I'll take Brandon Jacobs. Because Steve Smith's going to make me miss, probably.
Yeah.
How wide is the little Oklahoma drill? 5 yards?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'll probably hit him in there. But I'll take Brandon Jacobs so I maybe get some redemption. And he's not getting a full head of speed when he's hitting me.
There you go.
So maybe I can get a better hit on him, yes.
Very smart man.
All right, so this last card. Now, this is a fictional card.
Oh.
So, pick it up. We'll see who it is. Let's see if you recognize it.
That's Tom Hanks. That's my man Forrest.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So we brought this Forrest Gump.
My same number as me in college, by the way.
We brought this out here.
So great.
Obviously, Forrest Gump, ping pong star.
Oh, yeah.
You love ping pong.
I do.
Would you be able to beat Forrest Gump in a ping pong
No chance. Did you see him playing by himself against the wall? And then Those obviously superimposed, but
Right.
man, no, I think Forrest might be able to get me. He never gets beat. He's the best at everything. I love Forrest.
That's right.
One of my favorite shows of all time, by the way.
If it's not Gump, is there a guy or even a gal in the locker room or anyone outside who would beat you?
So after my, I want to say 5th or 6th year in the league, we built this little, like, it wasn't a game room, it was a game room. And at the facility, we had a ping pong table, a shuffleboard. There was a bunch of games, like video games. I never played those. But we'd play ping pong in between our meetings and stuff. And Kyle Orton was pretty good. Robbie Gold was pretty good. I was the best.
Of course.
I mean, every once in a while, I get a loss about every 3 weeks. Somebody would sneak in there and beat me. But the best is playing doubles. So say you got 20 guys in there, and there's always a team waiting to play. Greg Olson was so serious about ping pong. You know, Dusty Dvorak, they'd always be like, I got next. And, you know, he'd beat them real quick, and they get real mad. But you leave the game room sweating, going to your meetings. Coach like, what the hell are y'all doing in there? Oh, nothing, Coach. We're working out. No, you're supposed to be lifting and stuff when you're there playing ping pong.
We're doing push-ups, Coach.
Push-ups, yeah. Push-ups and
Yeah.
go sweaty. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Brian, thank you for coming. Anytime you're in Chicago, stop by the Ludex headquarters.
Love to. Yes, thank you.
And remember, Ludex, it's the new home for the hobby.